Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smokescreens and Castles, live at Westcliffe's Palace Theatre! Now, welcome to the stage. It's Russell Kane!
Evening, how you doing, Southend? You all right? The people from Southend, give me a cheer. Is it Westcliff people, give me a cheer? Look at us, yes, we don't cheer, it's rather bass, we find it here. And so people from outside the area, give me a cheer. Oh, shit, all the local references, fuck, cut the script. What's that paving stone all about on the corner? I don't know, mate. I don't know, I'm not from your country. And it did not really relate to me, but I found it quite funny. He did a Nigerian accent. Panic, I'm not sure if we're safe. Panic, panic. Cover me in copies of The Guardian. He did a racial accent. Cover me. I thought you were going to be artistic. It's an Edinburgh show. Heckling with a quail's egg. He's clearly a chap. Heckle him. Heckle him. Here's a tomato. That's sunblush, you pikey motherfucker. Take it in the face. Oh, my God. How young are you? Jesus. How old are you, young man?
16.
You lying fucker. Look at that. Someone just shout, go on, Tyler. You finally found out who your fucking dad is. Well, wait to find out. Right. That's my fucking boy. Hey, she don't even remember it. She was behind a skip with a Zambuca. She don't even remember it. How far away is the dad sat? Look at the alpha off in the distance. How old are you really? No, it doesn't matter. It's over 14, so you don't need to hide your age. How old are you?
I'm 16.
You lying fucker! Shall we test it? Voldemort shat himself. Shat himself. That's how you tell. I've come here to have fun, not think about... Oh, Jeff Weed's come out. If you mention Hermione, I'll fuck you up, yeah? I'll take you down. Is that your mum you're with, though? Oh, yes. Now, don't suckle. That's terrible. I didn't want to wean him off because I enjoyed it. It's been such a mixed year. Having to rediscover life as a single man. Can you believe that? I'm single again. And I know. Oh, yes, panto. Why not? It's the right stage for it. And it's horrible because there's all these pressures to go out on... You have to go out dating, don't you, to recover. When you go on a date, man, just go out on a date and recover. And all the Essex blokes, if I was in your fucking position, yeah. Fucking stand up with all the fucking... Yeah, I'll fucking kick them all in a van. I won't take them all out. Right? So Essex, I'm actually a bit disabled from how fucking Essex I am. I'm so full of rape and hatred, I can't fucking move. My mum's here tonight to witness some of these stories, like, awkward, and I don't even have it, I've just got a Ken lump. Well, let's begin the story then. It's time for the formal humour. The formal humour begins, ding. And that's my old man there in Banksy style. That's my mum. That's me and my brother James in a what's it box. That's my dad looking over me, still scaring the shit out of me. Get it right, Pratt. Sorry, Dad. And not being funny. At the end of the day, does that make sense? That's my mum. Does that make sense? Even when it... Of course it makes sense. Right, I'm getting the early train. Does that make sense? Of course it does, Mum. Because I'm not fucking remedial, right? Does that make sense? Right? Why have I got a castle on the stage? Because that was the nickname of my home from the neighbours. Now, of course, this is an Essex story. I live in Essex. My dad's from Leeds. But when he got my mum up the duff, she was over the border in Hertfordshire. We get a council house. Fine. Who grew up in a council house? Give me a cheer. Quite different to a council flat. Quite different, right? Because it's end of terrace. And then Thatcher passes a law that says the white working class cash-in-hand male, if he likes, if he so chooses, can buy his own fucking gaff, wallet, crunch, right? And that's what my dad does. Immediately alienating him from other true chav neighbours. Look at that, too fucking good for the street now, are they? Yeah? They've got nicknamed the Castle because my dad, bearing in mind, he's 18 stone of shaven-headed, hard, cockney, racist, Nick Griffin loving, fucking testosterone, steroid using, ex-bounce, a hard cockney can, right? Takes the JCB round the side, built an extension. That's when the nickname begins, the fucking castle. 3 bedrooms, we went up to the castle, look at it. And then the thing that made completely excluded by the neighbours was when my dad took the JCB down the side, dug a 21-foot long ditch in our back garden, 6 foot one end, 5 foot the other, and sunk what into the garden of our former council home? A swimming pool, ladies and gentlemen. Julie and Dave, my mum and dad, Julie, Dave, becoming Juliet and David overnight. Their accents changing from the broad London accent to the pinched Leon C, slightly try-hard Essex accent, which ironically sounds more moronic than the original, doesn't it, eh? Because the vowels aren't fixed, but the end of the words are making the effort, right? You must hold in your head the image of the castle, not just for where I lived. I mean, what's behind there? What do you think? It's cold and empty in a castle? Of course not. It's warm, there's all luxury inside, there's fires burning. It's just us, the peasants, never get to fucking see it, right? My dad was exactly the same. The outer granite wall, the E.T. lump of love, it's locked inside him. He never shows it. He only shows it to the Essex friends down the pub of the same age, right? After 5 Stellas. Never. The love never coming out. That's the curse of these men, to want emotional acceptance with a complete emotional illiteracy. That's why a lot of the racism and right-wing views, in my opinion, are fake. It's just fear. Fear of the other. Keep them out, boy. Keep everyone out, right? Even having a Nick Griffin magnet on the fridge. That was the lowest point, was when the Nick Griffin on the fridge. A man so right-wing, even his eye has collapsed to the right. That's dedication. If I could choose, I would have a stroke, just manually disable my whole left wing. I don't know. Strokes aren't a laughing matter, actually, young man, right? Self-echo, postmodern, ding! And, actually, you know if you've had a stroke, it's quite simple. I saw the advert. Don't worry, your head catches on fire. It's quite obvious. That confused the shit out of my nan during the chip pan incident, I tell you. Ralph, I'm having a stroke, I'm definitely having one. It's a chip pan, I'll thank fuck for that. The racism begins, doesn't it? Is that going to happen to me? Do all middle-aged men become right-wing? Well, I at one stage just scrape the hummus from my body and go, right, let's be racist. A lot of my left-wing views, I only got them to annoy my dad. Like some of you in the room would have been, I always felt a call to be good. I went on visiting projects. I just wanted to help others. It just grew organically from inside me. Right, I wish I could say that. Mine was pure, it is now, I feel it, but it was purely to spite him in the beginning. Yeah, I hate all these people. I love them then, Papa. How does that feel? Get them out, let them in, everyone in. Right. So I just end up in the garden covered in tzatziki going, free Tibet. Free Tibet. But now I'm lefty. Now I am. So we clash over everything. The Nick Griffin magnet. I'm not racist, boy, because he sees himself on these programmes, having the piss taken out of him by me, right? He gets the name of the programmes wrong. I know you do it on purpose, middle-aged men, just to annoy your sons, yeah? When you're on that mock out of 10 Apollos, boy, right? Why'd you make out? Why? 3-syllable Essex, why? Why? Why'd you make out? I'm racist, right? Well, some of the things I'm not racist, but, right, that's the danger word, right? Nothing very good normally follows that comma, does it, Westcliff, right? I'm not racist, but. That's like saying I'm not a rapist, but. Get in the van, get in it. This is the latest one, isn't it? Why'd you make out I'm racist? I'm not. It's what my dad says. All I want to do is have a sensible discussion about immigration, yeah? All I want to do is have a sensible little chat about him. No one with that face wants a sensible discussion about anything. Trust me. Yeah? Sensible little chat in the back of that transit van over there. Yeah? With me and my brothers and the rest of you and your family, Mr. Woolham along. Have you fucking pronounced it? Because it ain't Smith, mate. Let's face it. Right? A little chat about immigration. Listen, I am very left-wing because the things I've experienced, I can't stand homophobia, I can't stand racism, but I love democracy. I love the fact there are people in this room now thinking, but I am like that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I disagree with you. And hooray that you can express those views within the letter of the law and I can express mine and we can have a debate. But I just wish you would have the courage to stand and go, look, I keep using phrases like, what I mean is people of colour offend me and I don't want them here. Wouldn't it be refreshing just to hear the fuckers tell the truth for once? That's why women should be in government, because they can spot the lies first off. No problem whatsoever. You can't even finish a lie. I'm sorry I'm late. I was lying, Gary. You're lying. Let me finish the lie before you spot it, you psychic bitch. Right? I know, because that's why it's so... You've evolved the capacity because of us pervy men. You have to spot our line. Come in. I'm not going to try and have sex with you. It's not about that tonight. Come in. Yeah, I'm recently split up. Why don't we just... Look, rather than doing it, we'll just lie under the duvet together naked. Just with our bodies touching for the emotional experience of nakedness. I won't try and fuck you. Right? 5 minutes till you feel the no-handed kidney punch, girls. What was that? Touch the end of it. Touch it. Expelliarmus! Never say that. Sorry. He went, don't worry about it. All I want to do is have a sensible discussion, right? And it's the same with the emotional language. These guys, we're not slating, we love you. You're our dads, right? We know how much you love us. But how can someone have so much love and such an inability to show it? Right, my dad's like, hey, why'd you make out when you're on that mock out of 10 news quizzes, right? Why'd you make out I'm not a loving father? When you do all of this and give it all that, it makes out I wasn't loving or I wasn't... Listen, there's a difference between love and loving. Is there not, people, right? Love, what any normal man in this room will feel for his offspring, no matter how much of a shit dad he is, you cannot deny he loves him, right? Right, but that's not the same. You know, I love you, son. I'd throw myself in front of a car for you. I love you. But I won't fucking speak to you between the ages of 12 and 18. Right? I'm emotionally retarded by my own dad, and in turn, I'm attempting to retard you, right? And that's not the same as loving, is it, dads? It's not. Love, you know, I've not got any of these memories. Stop it, Dad. We're tangled up playing football. Stop kissing my head. I can't help it. I love you. Me and goal next. Right, I've not got any of those. Right? I've got plenty of those. Pratt, clear it up. Right? Why'd you make out? Why'd you make out? I wasn't a loving father. As pathetic as it is, guys, I got excited because I'd never seen him like it. He passed the age of 50 and he's changed so much. I've come to the conclusion that's when men finish puberty. We're complete arseholes mostly until that point. I'm 51, I've lost my car keys, I'm not going to smash up the living room. Brilliant. I'm all right. Oh, look. A traffic jam on the A127. Will I kick the fucking sat-nav off? No, I won't. It's an opportunity to relax. Puberty is finished, right? So I thought that's what happened. These apes suddenly chill out, didn't they, when they get into their 50s. We're violent, horrible fuckers up until then. And he's got the Christmas hat on, his Christmas day. The eyes full. This starts happening, doesn't it? These hard men, they have tears in their eyes and stuff. They never breaks lid, though. Do not break lid. Do not go on to cheek. Yeah? Show the love. Take it back the next day. Yeah, the love boomerang. I love you, son. Not really, prick. Not really. And he's wobbling. You know when you have the Stella on top of the Christmas dinner? So you have the 5 Stellas before, then you have the 6th, and it does the Stella wobble. You're standing there like... I fucking saw you on that mock-out, kids. You make out, you're my boy. Why'd you make out I'm not a loving father? What's coming? Every boy in the room, and you are all boys on the inside, right? You want to hear it. If your dad's around, you want to hear it. Don't lie. As American and cringy as it is, you'd love to hear it just once. They can't say it, though. I think it's coming. Do you want to know what he actually said? Why'd you make out I'm not a loving father? I never fucking hit you. That was it. That's all it takes, ladies and gentlemen. As long as you don't close your fist and beat the little shit. There's no A-level clubs, no journeys, no fancy dress, no talent competition, no Alton Towers. Just don't break its neck. And then I was laughing like you guys are on the inside and a bit disappointed. But then he carried on. I thought, I've judged him too quickly. He went, do you know why I never hit you? Do you know what? People from outside Essex. Through the whole body, bring it through. Right? Do you know why I never hit you? Why, Daddy? Because secretly you mean Daddy, right? Why, Dad? Why? And he started, I thought it was going to be that overwhelming bond. You know, those of you in the room that have got kids, which will be hardly any of you, because comedy is, you know, it attracts childless people. We love it, don't we? Let's have no children. Let's laugh at everything, then die alone. Ha ha! You're always telling us, you people with kids, shut up. We don't want to hear it. We're already confused enough about the fact we don't have children. You don't even describe it. You're more annoying. When you hold that baby and it's your own, you'll know. And you look down, I wish I could put it into words, but I simply can't. It's if you can't, get out of my fucking house then, you smug fuck. Don't describe the greatest happiness in life. And of course, I'm pretending to be a little bit more against it than I am, because I've got no girlfriend. And And there'll be people in the room, who couples in the room, adult age, living together, choosing not to have children. Give me a cheer. You are statistically the happiest people in the United Kingdom, according to a recent survey, right? But the smugness of us is even worse. We're not going to have kids. Why would we, man? Losers. I can't believe you lot getting up at 6. Boring. No, we're gonna take joints till we're 50. Falaraki forever. Hooray. Here come the cats. They're just like babies anyway. Stop it, cats. Stop it. Here comes the dog. Stop licking my face. I'm lactating. Huh? Do you know what that's called? That's called the IVF Express. Age 35. The men. It's in the last 5 years. This is feminism for you. In case you think all my waffle about men becoming more effeminate is just our generation thinking we're more sensitive than the last. The reported cases of depression from men who want babies with women that don't it's a new phenomenon. Feminized males going, but I want a baby. And she doesn't. I don't, Gary. I want to explore my life and what I'm doing. I need a child. I'm lactating. Look at the state of it. That ain't fucking right, is it? I was in Falaraki last year, now I've got milk in my tits. That's why I call it when a man is broody, my boiveries. My boiveries hurt for a child. My boiveries ache for a baby. It's good, isn't it? Look, he's doing puns, genres. Ding! Anyway, I thought that's what my old man was going to come out with. Something like that. Not in those words, obviously, but the overwhelming love. I'm assuming most mentally, genetically normal dads don't want to crush their children's skulls, right? Do you know why I never hit you? And I'm still holding on, pathetic, still the 8-year-old boy on the inside. Do you know why I never hit you? Why, Dad? Why? And this is what he said. Because if I'd started, I wouldn't have fucking stopped. I wouldn't have stopped. Murder! Murder! That's murder. Take a child and punch it without stopping. Do you know what happens? You'll kill it. It'll die. And what's weird is the look of pride that's on these men's face when they say it. What is going through your hard fuck brain? I wouldn't have fucking stopped because I'm that impressive boy that I could have murdered you with my brawn. Not really, no. It's a bit worrying. And he backed it up with this. I don't know my own strength. And what's happening? Learn it, you nut jobs. Learn it. Especially you lot around children. Have a weekend in Belfair Woods with some meat and metal hanging down, punching it, squeezing it. Come back with a realistic assessment of how strong you are. Do you think any woman on the planet's going to be impressed if you show that type of strength? Do you mind if I hold the baby? Oh, I'm sorry. I hold his fucking head. I don't know my own strength. You've destroyed my child, but you're very strong, Garrett. You're very strong. The emotional, the illiteracy sort of wed to the physicality of the man. I mean, I could have looked like him. I could have been post-feminist male and looked like him and maybe made a difference. Because I look like me, it doesn't have the impact. You know what I mean? Those of you that there's any guys in the room had hard dad like mine. Right? He's a god when you're growing up, and he's just a lump of meat god. The only thing you can hope for when you're a baby is to look like him. You don't have any other aspirations. I want to physically resemble my dad. God in my eyes. And some of us poor fuckers, me and you, grow up to be photocopies of our mum. There's something emasculating about being a cross-gender lookalike. I'm sorry. You should look a little bit like both parents. It must be worse for you girls that look like your dads. Don't get me wrong, that must be. Yeah, when there's the dad coming into the pub, I'll have a beer and I'll have a wine. My daughter's with me. Here come the twins. Hello, wait for me. So I don't have any of my dad's 6 foot, 18 stone, steroid-using, muscle, rippling, curly, fair hair, blue eyes. I got the dark hair of my mum. Like, my dad, like when his hair eventually drops out, not 1 ripple, not 2 ripple, but 3 ripples of meat between head and neck. That's right, an Essex triple ripple. Look at the fucking state of it. Yeah? Want me to carry a brick? Stick it in my triple ripple. No fucking problem, boy. Take it over there. There are friends of mine in tonight. Speak to me in the bar afterwards. I'm not exaggerating. They used to take it in turns, to have the courage to knock at my door. So imposing and terrifying was my dad. Even the man's urine used to scare me as a child. Do you remember the first time you see that horrible dark yellow dad wee that's been left in the night? Just left there. So dad up to the toilet, naked. Discharge urine, retreat, leave, display for sun. What is it? Orange. Almost orange. With a film on it, with a film of oil. How mad? Maybe a seagull in it. Ah! There's me with my clear stream of water. Papa, I'm in the performing arts. I love them. Imagine that, mate. It's the only thing which trumps his racism is his homophobia. Please don't let my son be one of those. Please, God, please. I'll do anything. I'll trade my old disability for that. I really would. I'm always looking for evidence of my manliness. Always. That's right, boy. Get a trade. I think I'm going to read a Penguin classic. Is that a biscuit? No, all right. Get a trade, boy. Work with your hands. That's what men do. No, Papa, I don't wish to. Fucking old Julie is one of them. That's my mum. Then once, he went into my room and he went, I've just been up, boy. I'm very happy. I know you're taking your DT project really seriously because I just found a soldering iron in your room. Doing a bit of fucking metal work, just like... No, Papa, that's my GHD ceramic. Get out, get out! Filthy. Hands have been on me. Everything about him, brutally manly. Even his answer phone message. That's what we do. We talk less as we get older, guys. Make the most of it now. 17 to 25-year-olds, because men's happiness is testosterone related. Testosterone depletes along with hair, bones, eyes, and happiness. Heading towards the chair of piss in the corner. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, unexplained heart attack, death. Right? And then the women suddenly come into their own again. Hooray, he's dead. How will I cope without him? Oh my God. He sapped my confidence for 30 years. How will I ever get over it? Didn't even get a driving license because he said I'd be shit and I didn't get out of the house. Doesn't matter. My dad's answer phone message is just his name. Just his freaking name. I wouldn't even know how to do this, you miserable old fuckers. Just have the computer. Don't just have your name there. Listen to this lad here, Tyler. I mean, your answer phone message will be full of jokes and japes because you're a young man. This is Tyler. Leave a message after the tone. Boop, that wasn't the tone. That was technically a biatch. Tranky butt. Boop. Oh, my God. I'm so random. I better say Badger for no reason. Badger? I didn't even know why I said it. Random. Let's go to university, right? And some of you guys in your 20s and 30s now, and in your 40s, you just put a little comedy lift in at the end, didn't you? They're just the traces of the personality you once had. Hey, this is Scott. Leave a message. Ding. Like just a little bit of just a little lift. So you hang on to the last cells before you become a true miserable fuck for the rest of your life. Right? And now my dad's answer phone message is now just his name, right? He even has the computer lady from Orange. She gets you ready to leave your message, right? You know the one that was in a different mood when she recorded every number, that woman? 07450 359 that one. Right. At least do them in... You've got 10 numbers. Do them in the same mood, you weird bitch, right? I've had a cracking day. I've won a scratch card. 7. See you tomorrow. Right? My husband left me. Oh. Right? 7. Right? She does all the hard work. He comes in, shouts just his name, and sods off again. It's one of the most depressing proofs of everything I'm discussing tonight. When I phone my dad's mobile and I have to hear, I'm sorry, but Dave! It's not available to take your call. There's the first car. I don't know if your old man's around, Tyler. It's a rarity these days. 1 in 3. No, 1 in 3 dads aren't around. That's just the fucking fact of it. It's sad. But there are advantages to the fucker not being around. Trust me. You have to perform comedy to get rid of your mental illnesses like me. Anyone who's 17 in a room, give me a cheer. Loads of you, and any of those blokes, because you're the ones that are going to have the problem, right? Because you're about to choose your first car, right? Now, I don't even care if you've been working since the age of 14 in a Saturday job and saved up every penny for yourself, right? To pay for that car. If the alpha male is around, just let him buy it. Have no input. Don't even comment. Everything will be a test, right? Because whatever you buy, whatever you choose, will be pile of shit, death trap, waste of money. My dad said when he saw my Vauxhall Corsa, right, he walked up to it and went, "You'll die in that." And walked up. Told him, "You'll die in it." Even managing to be racist about cars. WTF, right? He said, "Do not bring Jap crap onto my driveway. I will not repair Crappanese. I will not repair Crappanese shit." Because he's got his man's vehicles, isn't he? The white van, the Transit, full of tools, Schwarfiger, rivets, yeah? Spanners. What's the difference between a Phillips and a slot? I don't know, Papa. Get out of my house is one of them. Right? Slot Phillips, slot Phillips, slot Phillips. Got the white van, powered by diesel, of course. What else would it be powered by? Diesel is the fuel of men. And then eventually, after years of manual labour, hard work and saving, he gets the dream car, the black diesel automatic Mercedes, right? What, bought on credit? Don't be ridiculous. Rely on no one. Save for years until all pleasure is removed from the future purchase. Only then are you ready to buy the thing and fucking hate it because you had to save for it. You broke me, right? That diesel, of course, it even sounds like diesel, my dad. I bet if my mum has any sex toys, they're probably powered by diesel. That'll go for hours, Julie. We'll burn no fuel. And even he sounds like when he's formulating his next right-wing thought. The Polish go home, right? And I choose the car that's caused the biggest arguments ever, the Toyota Prius. The Toyota Prius. Look at the intake of breath from some of the Garys and Daves in the room, yeah? Fucking waste of money, load of shit. Right? What harm am I doing anyone? You can be as angry as you like about green taxes if you don't believe in climate change. Fair play, you've got a point. I'm doing no one any harm if I want to waste my money on a half-electric, half-petrol car and drive to the airport 5 times a year, fly to Australia, but look, I'm going home in my hybrid, right? At worst, I'm a hypocrite, but the anger it draws from my dad. Why do you want to drive that shit, boy? You're a comedian, you can have anything you want for the birds and impress them, and you drive a car, it's... Not only is it half petrol, right? That alone is Glee box set enough, right? Yeah? But it's half electric. The noise it used to make when I drove off from Sunday lunch, even that would have been... See you next week for Sunday lunch, Papa. That's my fucking boy in there. It's my boy in there. Yeah? Why don't you have Liza Minnelli hanging out the exhaust? Get it over with. Are there any Prius drivers in the room? Any? Look, no, they won't put their hands up. I can't. Just think of the planet and the energy I'd be using. Like, stop the car. Look, a daisy grows. Look. Wait, here's a tram. Suckle from me. Suckle from me. And I crashed it. I'm surprised the insurance isn't free on the Toyota Prius. We're so boring. Just drive on, you won't crash. It's impossible. I did. 70 miles an hour. Bang. If I'd not had my Belkin rubber sheath on my iPhone, I might not be here. Right? And I was on the hard shoulder. Called my mum straight away. You're right, Russ. Let us know you're OK. You call me when you get to casualty. Call me the next. Nothing from my dad. Nothing. Not even a text message. Right? Maybe he couldn't manage it with primordial stumps. Why do men of this age just stop texting? Why? What's wrong with you? It's because we can't spell. Right? Right? I was dreading turning up in the courtesy car. The courtesy car was a purple Nissan Micra. This did not help me. If he wants to think it, I just play to it now. I dropped my keys. Sorry, Daddy. And right? Nothing. And do you know the weirdest thing of all, Guy? He was waiting at the front of the property garage. He was waiting like that. He was waiting to greet me. He didn't know what time exactly I was arriving. Those of you that grew up with a dad like mine, if you are now an adult, count, you will need one hand the amount of times the alpha comes out of the nest to greet you upon arrival. Does not happen. My mum comes out, you must go inside to seek out the alpha, in study or garden or office, often with his silverback facing you as you approach like that. You have to chuck a poo to show his dominant. Not this time, though. He was there, chest facing me, waiting to greet me. And I'm like, this is bad, because it was mock love. I could see the smile on his face. He'd pre-prepared what he wanted to say. He'd probably been thinking about it since Thursday, right? And it's Sunday, and I got out of the car. Hi, Dad, just turn that techno off. Oh, my God. Woo! He was in this sort of, like Boise Superman position, like that. First noise was a laugh, like a machine gun. Ha! Like that. Ha! Right? I swear to God, this is what he came out of. He must have been preparing it for about 3 days. He just said this, turned around and went straight into the hallway. Ha! Crashed the Toyota Prius. Yes, Dad. Well, it's 0 emissions now, isn't it, boy? Hey! Brilliant. Went abroad to Australia. I got to fly first class for the first time, right? It's unbelievable, guys. Anyone flown first or business? It's better than you can freaking imagine. And there's an unlimited buffet. That's the thing that shocked me when I've walked in. Tray of unlimited food, a table of it, like that. It's just, what's the thought of most people in this room when you see a buffet, and I'm not talking about Iceland prawn rings here, right? I'm talking, this is champagne, caviar, this is the works, first class, as much as you can get down you. Everyone in this room is thinking, nick it, fill the pockets. Right? But you can't. You're about to get on a plane. My old man, Dad's trained me, and James, my brother, he trained us on all-you-can-eat Chinese. We were trained on it. Because of my energy levels, I've always been able to eat a freakish amount of food. So I've always looked young for my age. So when I was 12, I was tiny, but I could eat a man's meal. The pride on my dad's face that I could do him over for the $7.95 child's price. Right? He used to make me stretch in the garden. Stretch, boy. Fucking stretch. I'll show that prick children's prices. We'll do him right over. Look at that, here comes the prawn crackers. No, thank you, mate. We're not fucking idiots. No, thank you. So I've got all that going through my mind. It's all the all-you-can-eat buffet, and I think I've got one option here. I've got to call my mum and share it with her. I can't yet afford to do ridiculous things like that. I can't fly my mum to Australia. I can't afford it. So I've got my mum up on the old on the laptop, like that. Because I've taught, that's one of our recent lovely 3 days we've spent together, was teaching my mum how to use a laptop from scratch. Anyone else had that joyous experience, right? Most middle-aged ladies in this room, if you can use a computer, you've been taught by the generation of... Hardly any middle-aged men. Wasn't invented when I was young, doesn't count, right? Clearly, it's not important if it didn't exist when I was in my prime, right? And women, I want to learn it. Helena's on the internet, and Lynn. Helena and Lynn and Helena, right? I want to learn it, right? And so I bought my mum a laptop. She cried with happiness because it was main present. I can't believe you got me a laptop. And listen, I'm not a violent man at all, Harry, right? I'm a gentle, silly human being. It's why I've got into theatre. However, those 3 days where I stayed over to teach mum laptop through on-button, internet, Facebook, Twitter, as she still calls it, Twitter, right? It's the closest I've ever come to closing my fist, right? I'm unleashing a punch so powerful into the side of someone's head. You know, so that it detaches without any blood, like in a kung fu movie. Ding, ding. Still with the same expression on her face. What does a space bar put into a document? Space, bitch! What did you think it was, a semicolon kicking the torso afterwards? So I did it. I'm in first class. I'm fine. Taught my mum how to use Skype. She's on the old Skype and everything. Get me on Skype, Russ, or Skype, she calls it. Get me on the Skype, right? Open it up. And there's my mum, but with her eye right against the webcam. Russ! Like I'm in it. Like I'm in it. Someone shrunk my son. He's in there. He's tiny. Like I was a little computer man. Mommy, help me. Mommy. I've become data, Mommy. Back up, Mum, back up. And she backed away from it. You know, like when a rainforest villager has seen a tractor for the first time, like that. Right? My mum's like, Russ, show us, what's first class like? This is the chaviest thing, or most endearing, depending on where you come from. I didn't know how to put it into words, so with everyone else from first class looking on at a table they'd barely noticed, I just flipped my computer around and Skyped the entire buffet to my mum. Go back, Russ, go back. Go back. She's like, go back. Elaine, get over here. The fucker has got unlimited salmon. Unlimited. Like I said before, I know I'm all lefty, it's all a bit cosy, and there's those of you that read the Daily Mail would like to beat me up with it outside after the gig, right? I want to stand up for your rights. Can someone please explain to me, though, why someone who's quite right-wing, or racist, as my dad is, naturally disbelieves climate change, right? There is no link whatsoever between hating brown and black people and not being into recycling. If you must be racist, but put a bit of recycling out. We're all on the same... You would literally be in the middle of a lynching with your white hood and a crossbow and you actually go, do you mind if we delay the hanging? I've just got to go down the bottle bank. Just wait here. Right? If anything, you would think that recycling appealed to the racist mind. Tin in one bag, paper in another bag, card in a separate bag. Yeah? Everything in its different groups. Yeah. Off to the incinerator, and Then there's the garage. There's a sociology of garages, isn't there? What's it like in Westcliff and Southend? Parking is horrible, isn't it? Bit of off-street. They've got a fucking off-street, haven't they? Got off-street and a garage. Off-street and a garage, boy. Right? There's the middle-class garage, plenty of space, isn't it? Oh, look how wide it is. You can park the car, you can come back down past the lawnmower, close it with a button, in through the hallway, past achievements of son, achievements of daughter, into the kitchen, relax by the Argo. You've got all afternoon, right? No problem. There's the working-class garage like we had here, where you've got to fucking lock yourself inside it, pull the bit of blue string down that's been there for about 10 years, with the black bell end on the end of it. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to say black bell end. Say what you like, motherfucker! Okay, all right. Don't know what that character was, let's leave it. And you're trapped inside your own garage. Anyone have that garage where you're trapped inside? You've got to do the Irish dance. Remember, part of these men, they want you to scratch their car. They fantasize about you scratching it. Please, let me find a rusty scratch that he's done on it, please, God. Right? So you've got to go past it with your jeans, with your spiky bits on. Look, there's a patch of oil. Why not tread it into the Wilton? Broken ankles. Right? Past the spare freezer, the second freezer full of more meat. Yeah, more meat, frozen, in case the primary supply of meat runs out. Right? But Papa, I'm vegetarian. Move to Brighton, put me out of my suffering. Right? Into the kitchen, into my mum's domain. There she is, moving around like me. We've got the same energy. Meerkat, always awake, always up for duty. Mr. Muscle, Dettol, scrub it, scrub it, scrub it. Nothing left. Right? Scrub it, there's still shit in it. There's still shit in it. Right? That's my mum with the Essex accent, same as me. Quite precise. A lot of us will have it in this room. It's an uncomfortable part of the show for us, and we realise, because we think we speak a bit better than everyone else than that. Right? It's a castle accent. If you know the way Essex words fall, the reason we're perceived as so unfriendly, it's quite an unfriendly accent. There's words with walls around. Unlike the London accent, which is open, quite rolling, inviting everyone in, not finishing words, very rarely get to the end of my sentence. Right? Essex people have moved out. The London accent, different to the Essex accent, the London accent's the only accent in the United Kingdom that becomes friendlier the more it's shouted. Do you know what I mean? There are any cockneys in, any proper cockneys, the louder it gets, the fucking friendlier I sound, yeah? Any other accent, Welsh, rolling, mellifluous, honey-like, friendly, musical, wonderful, fits with the speaker, right? But the moment it's shouted, incredibly threatening, right? Same with the Glaswegian accent, see what you like about it. It can actually be quite trustworthy, like he's a mate when he's speaking, but he gets angry. You don't fucking hear that. Any accent, except the London accent, which when shouting, even with an aggressive face, is friendly. You feel like I'm about to wheel on a tray of bargains, like start auctioning them. I will nick it back for you in the car park, though. Right? But the flip side is also true. If an accent is friendly, the London accent is friendly with an aggressive face while shouting, the reverse is also true. The moment it becomes polite, or a little bit friendly, and then fucking menacing, yeah? Okay? Why don't you come in, mate? Yeah? But we can slag all of these accents off. At least they fit together, unlike our accent. Even the posh accent. I know most of us find it offensive. It's traces of privilege. It's very unfriendly. The vowels are tight. The consonants are tight. My body language is tight. I don't know you. You don't know me. Clean my house. Go back to Poland. All that. But at least it adds up. How does the Essex accent add up? We've moved out to the estuary, a little bit more money, right? Building walls around our stuff, walls around our opinions, blue, 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 local council. Build a wall around it, build a wall around our words, each word falling like a breeze block. But where most of us come from a background where we didn't have much education, the generation above, we're left with the traces of moronic vowels in our voices. Moronic, which means we're cursed to sound like total fucking idiots, but mean it with clear elocution, right? All of the vowels. We've got all of them. Every vowel is in Essex. Do you want a Sambuca? Do you want a Sambuca, Keller? I stole them from Wales. Any Welsh people in? We've got your vowels. We stole them in Essex. We're running out. Quickly, we need some more vowels. Go across the bridge. Take your £5.50, you prick. Into Cardiff. See you later. They're just left in Wales going... Your vodkas. You're in my mum's domain, the kitchen. With the Essex microwave, the first generation of working people. We had the posh possessions, didn't we? The first, I was a baby, my mum and dad were adults. Why shouldn't we now that we got cash in hand, the 80s are finished, got a bit of dosh? We'll get our black tarmac driveway with a sprinkling of white pebble dash for an air of... It's nearly the 90s. Let's scatter white pebble dash. Shh. I don't even understand these fashions. And then into the kitchen. Into the kitchen, the big brown microwave. That's right, boy, the Philips. Do you remember those? That's my mum with her Philips 650 useless fucking watts. Right? Just 2 buttons, veg or meat. They were your options, right? How ignorant were you lot in the 80s? Meat, with a picture of a steak next to the word meat, for fuck's sake. What kind of a moron needs a visual cue, right? What? Meat. Oh, I know this word, I know it. They put a fish on the next edition, there's a fish next to it. That's me! Unbelievable. Indestructible fucker. No wonder my dad got along with it. All right, Dave, I'm your new microwave. I run for 15 years. Nut me. You're improving me. I've been on tour with this show. I've had 3 shows where people are still running an original 1983 brown microwave. Listen, if we must go into Afghanistan and Iraq and all these countries, let's at least give the soldiers the equipment they need. Let's clad them in whatever those brown microwaves are made out of. Let's do it. Watch this, Gary. Landmine. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Philips 650 watt. And go across from the kitchen, we're in the dining room. Oh, look, it's the dining room. Welcome to the dining room. Who's got a separate dining room? Cheer if you've got a separate dining room. Loads of you have. It's a rarity. These old properties around here, we've got them, haven't we? My dad built one, but some of you are cheering and you don't mean it because you've caught knock-it-through disease from the generation before, haven't you? There used to be one. Let's knock it through. Here's an archway where why get together as a family and eat and we can knock it through and have one big space with the telly at the end so we can watch it even when eating, right? Knock it through. You haven't still got bedrooms, have you? We fucking knocked the floors off. Look at the ceiling. Knocked the loft off, crunched the walls, and I'm in the garden. Knocked it. The house is gone. Knocked it down. Knocked it. I can see Kent. A bit rainy, but I can see Kent. Right? Knocked the lot. Knocked down. And that's my mum's ideal home. Why would you want an old house when you can have a new build? Oh, Russ, a new build, just covered in Dettol and cellophane, right? No, why would you want character? It smells, right? That would be our ideal house, just a giant magnolia cube with her in the corner going, There was one IKEA halogen spotlight, so powerful that it burns your corneas out your skull when you look at it. 5 Glade plugins in every wall. 5, so that you even, if you even so much as sniff their coniferous freshness, your nose bleeds from how clean it is, Russ. It hurts how clean it is. Bleach in your eyes. I keep doing this because I've watched too much Black Swan. It's affected me. Has anyone who's seen that? Black Swan, give me a cheer. Mostly girls, isn't it? That's the girls, all the block guys either. Oh, why would I go and watch a load of fucking shit? Well, ballet, wankers giving it this and that. Girls, how wrong were the guys not to go? And how glad were you that the pervy fucker wasn't next to you when you saw it? Because let me tell you, Natalie Portman's in it. Give me a cushion, I'll be right in a minute. Give me a cushion, please. And, Natalie Portman's in it. And it's one of the most brilliantly dark, surreal, erotic, terrifying, just fucking great movie. It's got everything, and the sex stuff is unbelievable, right? It's the type of movie, guys, that you'll want to adapt the popcorn box before you go. Trust me, adapt it, that's all I'm saying. Scott, are these a bit saltier than normal? Yeah, I can't explain it. They changed flavour during the lesbian scene, and weird that. Giving a zombie's fingernails. You ever given a girl zombie's fingernails? Spongy hands. And never do that. Girls don't find it attractive. Learn the hard way. That's another one. For those of you that have not seen it, Gary, Dave and Gary in the front row, right? This is what, have you seen it? Of course you fucking are. Right? The girls that have seen it, how good? The best scene in the whole... But the story is this, the Swan Lake, the ballet, right? But the lead person in Swan Lake, the Swan Queen, she has to play both the white swan and the black swan. 2 parts, 1 actress. And she's being taught by a man so manly, I'm surprised he doesn't have testicles instead of feet. I spunk out my head. Just a throbbing phallus of manliness, right? He's like, you'll never be the Swan Queen because you cannot be both the black and the white swan. And Natalie Portman's like, please let me be. She's all vulnerable and gothy and fuck. And please let me be the white swan and the black swan. You're perfect for the white swan, perfect casting. Vulnerable, fragile, sexually pure, perfect casting. But you could never be the black swan, for she is evil, salacious, and full of sexual power. How can I learn to be the black swan? And this is what he says. Get ready, Garrett. He went, you have one chance to become the black swan. I have a homework assignment for you. Go home. Touch yourself. You want to fucking see it now, don't you, eh? I want to see it now. So don't leave it to the imagination, trust me. If they ever remake the British version of that, I'm going to demand they use an Essex cast for that. Go on, Donna, give it. I'm trying, Gary. I am trying. Have you had your Sambucas? I've had 5 of them. It ain't making no difference. Did you light them first? I lit them, blew them out, downed them, and I'm still not dancing. All right, I've got an idea. What? Now listen, come here, babe, come here. Don't overreact. I've got a little suggestion, right? Hear me out. Let me finish it, right? Go home. Have a bit of a strum, right? Wait there. Right? Have a bit of a bang on it, right? Come back tomorrow, we'll have another look, right? The next day, Gary, look at the state of me, it fucking worked. I went at it like a sewing machine in a power surge, and now look at me. Yeah, because girls do it as well. Mindfuck. Even mother. Oh, man. The dining room. You got a dining room, you two? We've lost something, though, haven't we, by not getting together once a day for dinner? I know we can't, with how busy we are, but we have lost something, don't you think? Getting together once a day for a verbal argument and food. And even to this day, if I hear, you're fucking useless, I fancy a sandwich. It always makes me wonder, who invented the equation of overly posh, dining room table, working class family? Who? What cruel. Why couldn't we just have had a piece of shit to eat our dinner off, right? Why did we have to have solid, mahogany, £300 worth of, hunt for a scratch bar, hunt for a scratch, hunt for a scratch, hunt for a scratch, hunt for a scratch that my son might break his hands, right? Dreaming of a scratch in the mahogany table. I'm dreaming of a scratch. I'm 8 years old, I can't even use my limbs yet. What's for dinner, Dad? It's spaghetti on a mechanical spoon. I'm surprised the face of Christ did not appear in the leaf of the table. Get the leaf out. Eileen and Ivan are coming over. Get the leaf out. More table for you to scratch. I wouldn't have been surprised if I came in and the face of Jesus was going, I'm Dave's table. I would rather have eaten I Am's cat biscuits on the fucking floor with Albert the Burmese than have risked Albert the Burmese cat, by the way, for those of you... Not a time, imagine that. Thank you for freeing me from oppression, but... May I eat at the table? You may not, midget cunt. You will eat biscuits on the floor. You're lucky to be here. My nan's the head of that side of the family. There's 2 types of family, isn't there? There's castle, and this is not class related for once. There's castle family, like that, with walls and keeping everything in. And then there's open family, right? Open family, sometimes the poorer family, isn't it? Because they don't care about the material. That's my mum's side of the family. Yes, some of us are on disability benefit. Some of us don't have the same dads, but who cares? Because when the shit hits the fan, we're there for each other. Love is the gel, right? And then there's the castle family. My dads do not give in to anyone. Make your own wealth, even your own brother. If he asks you or anything, is a ponce. You make your own wealth in the world. I'm sorry, I've done this on my own. Close the walls, die alone, rule Britannia, right? And on my dad's castle family, my mum's non-castle, led by my nan. That's my nan, my beautiful, glorious nan. I wish, there's a few people I wish were here today to see this, and she's one of them. She should be here. My nan's only 39 years old when I was born, for Christ's sake. It's a young nan. Look at the maths going through the head of the posh people. 39, that doesn't work out. How does she do her gap year? Why does he exaggerate? Why? Go on, Olivia, it's time for your gap year. I'll go to Africa, brown person, photo, and home again. Poverty's so boring, I'm going to go to Oxbridge now, mummy. But my nan was 39. We're a family of young breeders. I've bucked the trend. They are. My mum was a kid when she had me, my nan was a kid when she had my mum, blah, blah, blah. But my nan, of course, though, isn't here because she had the embassy filter bottle of vodka disease, yeah? Not embassy filter. You can get through 60 a day, much shorter, quicker route to cancer, yeah? Yeah? Bottle of vodka, drink it every day. Well, she did survive amazingly. I swear she must have kicked death out the door about 5 times. And I go, it's death. Do you want to come in, do you? Or do you want to get out and take your scythe with you, you prick? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'll come back. That's right, dickhead. At the end, so hard, these women, these working class, with nothing left her at the end, just a stick. I remember she weighed 4 stones at the end. I still wouldn't have crossed her. 4 stones, just a few cells, some egg eyes, like a hair like a Latvian imported firework, just coming out of her. Just anger, like a pepperami. That's what she was like at the end. Swearing about the wheelchair. She got a wheelchair from the NHS, which she left folded scornfully in the... Have you known anyone that can choose not to use a wheelchair out of anger? Fuck it. She would pull herself along the street 1 millimetre at a time. By rage alone. I hate life. But I really need biscuits, right? Amazing woman. The master of... She taught me to swear. For those of you that I've lost because of my bad language, I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm marinated in swearing. I've got no memory of not swearing. Essex people will swear. We swear while we're thinking, don't we? Where was it we were the other night? Oh, fucking, fuck. Pizza Express, fucking quality, right? And my nan's, and I know it's so offensive to women, why'd you use that word? It was taught to me by my grandmother. The master of the C word, the ninja. Women, you should reclaim it the way racist words have been reclaimed by people of colour. Reclaim it and use it the way my nan did. The C word, this, everything was the C word. Not just dropping the C bomb. Anyone can do that. It's not creative and it's not clever, right? But it was the creative conjugations. She blew my mind when I was 12, when she conjugated the C word in the present participle. I'd never heard anything like it. Get my cunting slippers. That's right. Yes. The joy when you realise you can put ing on the end of it. Why don't they tell you that when you're born? They should just put it on your arm. It's one of life's gifts. My nan, she had a fight with this woman calling herself the hardest woman in Enfield. It's one of the most amazing things I witnessed as a child. Of course, I remember my nan as an old lady in the story, but I'm 10, which puts her at 49, not old at all. But of course, the way childhood memory works, that's how I remember it. This woman's come to the door, right? And I know I've got cousins in and stuff like this. They probably remember it. And she's like, she planned it. She's so hard. She's like, right, I'll open the door, but I'm going to back off down the hallway because if she comes onto my property, I can have her. And I can't get down. She's planned it. Now, a couple of cousins, we were cowering in the living room. So I'm not going to lie to you, it's an audio memory. It's not a visual memory. I didn't see it because I was in the living room, right? And you know, like in a proper smoker's house where there's the layer of blue smoke, then there's the orange smoke above it, yeah? The shit that's been there for years, right? Roman pottery floating. Tony Robinson is up there going, I can't believe what I found. Timesy. And I'm in there, and I can hear this woman. This woman did not knock. She's like, I'm going to fuck you up, bitch. You said shit about my family. Like, losing it at the door. And my nan, not even scared. The last thing I've seen, because I've obviously got the doorway leading to the front door, and so I've seen her go past me. Just a vision of her. Erect and hard, 5 stones of her, with holding a weapon. Not a bladed weapon. Don't want to get nicked. I'm not a fucking idiot, right? Holding what? Holding what, Nat? What was she holding? She was holding a skillet. A skillet. A hard, heavy frying pan, right? Where it doesn't matter if you're 4 stone or 14, if you hit someone in the right place with a skillet, they are not getting up from it, right? That's such a nan weapon, isn't it? A frying pan, right? To the door with a cunting skillet, right? And she's opened the door, and I'm thinking, oh, please, Nan, please, this is my nan. My nan's about to go into action time. And she's backed off down the hall, and I've heard this woman rush her, half her age, twice her weight, rush down the hallway, and my nan's gone and taken her out in one go, of course. I wouldn't be telling the story if my nan didn't win, right? But when I play it back, because it's an audio memory, you know when you replay childhood memories, how your mind plays tricks on you, doesn't it? You're not sure what the true memory is, what the false memory is. It all gets mixed up, and you're lying and you're telling the truth. So when I play the sound back, I can't tell if I'm playing her attacking with the C word, because you can attack with the C word. It's got a you can get in there with it, right? I can't tell if I'm playing that back or if it's the crisp sound of the skillet striking off this woman's temple, first go. So that when I replay the sound, all I can hear is, cunt! Like that. Which is still my favourite sound. Isn't that awesome? My nan talks about everything as well. Talk about sex, talk about religion, talk about drugs. Drugs weren't hidden at my nan's house, right? Some people, I'm not going to go much further than that. We've got some friends in the room and she was a cool nan's to hang out at, right? But what it did was, some of you now looking judgmentally, is it took away the mystery of all that shit quicker. Whereas the British model is a castle model. Suppress, suppress, prevent, prevent. That'll get rid of. Of course it won't. That's not how the British mind works. The more you push us at one end, up we come at the other. And the same with our young people. That's my dad. If I ever smell any of that Jamaican shit in my fucking house, I just want to smoke the biggest joint ever rolled in humanity, just to piss him off. Do you know what I mean? But my nan was like, I don't want you to take it, but tell me what you've taken. We'll have a discussion about it. You have a cup of tea, wallop, right? The same with sex as well. She's the only person I've ever been able to speak about openly, apart from strangers in an audience. In my personal life. No sex education. Did you have any sex education, Tyler, at school? Honestly. And how late was it? It's too fucking late. You knew everything, mate. You knew it, right? My mum, did your mum attempt anything? I'd drop and run from my mum, book from the library, dropped in the room, run off, never discuss it with her. Drop and run, right? Drop and run. Don't discuss it with me, Tyler, don't look at me, right? That is why, just to bring the tone or the mood down, that's why we've got the highest teenage pregnancy in Europe. It used to be Western Europe when I did this routine. We've now got more girls between 11 and 16 getting up the duff than anywhere else in Europe. In Essex, to be precise. To be even more precise, Harlow, right? If you have a little girl and you live in Harlow, she has more chance of getting pregnant there than a war-torn former Yugoslavian state, right? Do you know, how depressing is that? A relatively rich country with education up to the age of 16. The only possible explanation is how late we teach sex at school. There's no other explanation, because you can draw a graph with how early sex is taught and the teenage pregnancy of that country. Guess what? At Sweden and Norway, and countries like that, where they teach sex to kindergarten children, right, 3 and 4 years old, not dressed up, but actual proper sex with diagrams, their teenage pregnancy rate, nothing. I can already see some blokes, and if anyone spoke about sex, my little fucking girl, I'll rip the cunt off, right? And let's see all the middle-class people again. It's totally inappropriate. Why would you talk to an 11-year-old girl about sex? We don't even have sex in Chalkwell. We don't even have genitals. We just have two smooth humps that we bang together to achieve a dry orgasm. And I don't have kids, and I know some of you parents disagree with what I'm saying, but the statistics speak for themselves, right? We tried to get it through Parliament. It was thrown out. It was thrown out. Remember, the Daily Mail was like, sex to be given in little girls' minds. It will make them have sex. Do you not think the opposite is true? Like an inoculation, like a jab when you go on holiday. So we now got this bizarre state, and I know there are teachers in the room that will conduct themselves more intelligently than this, but if you're following the letter of the law, technically it's this. If a 9-year-old girl says, excuse me, miss, can you please explain to me where babies come from? The teacher should really say, I'm sorry, I'm legally prevented from telling you where babies come from. Why don't you come back when you're 14 with the baby, and I will simply backdate the information. Yeah. My old aggressive nan and my dad, my loving dads, all that love. How can all that love be mixed up with all that sadness? You men in the room working hard jobs, you'll die 10 to 15 years before the posh fuckers because you've worked so hard. What a horrible statistical fact. You lifting, nail knocking, lagging. That's what my dad does, putting lagging on the outside of pipes, in boiler rooms, fiberglass, asbestos. We'll peg it earlier. Why work then? Out of love, out of the need to provide some drive, some primal drive for material wealth and love for the offspring. Brilliant. Then why, as you hand over that plasticky piece of tat I've been begging for since October, or the school shoes that I need, why do you have to provide the little cancerous bit of sadness with it at the same time? Constantly reminding us how shit it was for you at an equivalent stage. I've got a visual imagination. There we are, boy. Take your toys. Remember, I rock back and forth with nothing. And in some way you can't understand, it's your fault, right? Christmas brings out the worst in these men with their fucking Christmas. I never even had a dad. That's their favourite, isn't it? I never even had a dad. I never even had a dad. Never had a dad. I never had a dad. I knew you were lucky you are. I never even had. How many times I wanted to go, you lucky bastard. Coming into the bedroom one Christmas, there I am. The reason this one, my poor old mum, sticks in my head more than ever, this is the nan on the other side who, of course, died nice and young from an horrible disease just to add to the guilt and misery. Right? Always you'd find me on Christmas hat skew with the 6th Stella is in the chamber. Time to find the sun, to put a tragic image of my childhood. I'm surrounded by piles and piles of spoilt bastard plastic. I'm full of turkey and trifle. I'm in bliss, but I also cursed with a visual imagination and can't bear to think of that little blonde boy in pain or alone when he was a kid. I hate thinking of my dad as a boy being hurt. It's a horrible thought. And he'd always find me and he'd come in and he'd go, you got all your toys you want, have you, boy? Yeah. Good, I'm glad you're happy. This one sticks in my head because it's so surreal, the image, and the angle he delivered it at. I'm glad you're happy at Christmas. He went out diagonally like that. As though to fully penetrate my inner emotional core with an arrow, right? And he was sort of like a phantom in the half-light of the hall. I knew it was coming. I'm 10 years old. He went, I'm glad you're happy, boy, but I want you to know one thing. I was 7 the first time I tried an egg. And then went out. A powdered egg memory out of nowhere. So pouring out. This was another one of his. The first time I tried a fizzy drink, I fucking cried. The one thing that made him happy, was it football? Of course it wasn't. Was it rugby? Was it son's surprising academic achievement, given the Brimsdown and level of MDMA, IB for action, right? Was it any of that? There's only one substance that drew together father and son. One event, curry, the Akash Potter's Bar. The only time I ever saw a smile on that man's face, yeah? It's the only thing he's passionate about. Is Bangladeshi cuisine. Fucking curry, boy. I've got not a single Alton Towers story. I don't have a football practice story. I don't have a school play story. I don't have a Disney World story. I've got loads of brilliant stories about the Akash, though. 10th birthday, new job, bad week, takeaway from the Akash, right? He cried when it closed. Cried full, fat tears right down over his silver fur on his back, down to his primordial fists. Curry, different man. Different man. Takeaway, bad week, takeaway from the Akash. Good week, into the Akash. Cried when it closed. The Akash is closed, boy. It's closed. More than he cried over anything I've ever done. How hurtful. The Akash is closed. That's real pain. That's real pain, boy. My bone's hanging out. Don't matter. The Akash. Do you know the next sentence that came out of his mouth? I've never shared this before, and now it will go down on a DVD forever. It's not even funny, it's just bizarre. He would say it to an astounded 11-year-old. The Akash is closed, boy. Why, Dad? Well, Abdul didn't do his VAT returns. What? Every meal started with an argument. We've got no religion. It's very rare to find religious families these days. You religious families, you're saying grace before dinner, aren't you? Thank you, God, for this food we're about to receive. Right? But we don't. What's replaced grace in the working class family? Bit of a row before we eat, yeah? Bit of a row, slag each other off, damage your son's confidence, and eat. Now, and on this particular... This is the closing story, by the way, for that. I can see a lot of the men getting very wriggly in this. It's so sad. We should be able to have 2 hours of comedy, but of course the maximum is 1 hour and 15, 1 hour and 20 for most men. There'll be a lot of men in the room, right? Couldn't give a shit how this show ended. If the lights went out now, they'd be like, thank fuck. Right? Because I've had half a thimble of Kronenberg, right? There'll be some guys who looked at how long's he been on. 20 minutes, he's going to be on another hour. I'm fucked. Right? I don't care how the show ends. You could turn into a dove at the end. You could transfigure into a dove and go through the roof while the face of Christ appears in that wall. I couldn't give a shit. If you don't shut your noisy Lego-haired mouth, right, I'm going to piss in my fucking seat, right? All of the girls, you're not worried, are you? Do 3 hours, Russ, I'm fine. I've had 5 pints of wine, but I'm a woman, so my bladder's absolutely fine. Hooray! You just do one power piss at the end. Break the basin in half. How do you do it? How? Have you ever seen a woman when she really needs a wee and she's denied at the last minute? It's amazing. Please, I'm pregnant, please. I need the wee-wee so badly. please, I'm told you have a toilet. I'm afraid it's out of order. Oh, okay, I'll just wait then. Try the same thing on a man. I'm sorry, the loo's out of order. I'll slash right here, mate. I'll slash in my own mouth. Why control it? My dad is a hero. The whole story is a homage to him. I love it. But this is a particular hero memory. So you've all got different hero memories. Maybe your dad's wealthy, maybe he's spiritual, maybe he's intellectual, whatever. Hopefully you'll all have a moment where you go, that's the day my dad came through for me. And this is my one, the Akash, right? We're there. And a fight breaks out. It'd already been quite a lot of tension in the air because we've had our traditional argument. It's my 10th birthday. I'm allowed to order shazlik for the first time. Yeah? My first time of being allowed to order a sizzler, $12.95, 5 bits of meat, fucking what, right? The sizzler. Who loves a sizzler when they're out for a curry, yeah? You can hear it. It's the only dish where it's being served in the kitchen and you already know it's coming. Don't turn round. It's definitely ours. Right? Comes past you, all you other morons with your ordinary tikka that doesn't sizzle, you fucking wankers. Right? Down here comes my dad. Look at them, they don't even know what we've got. Right? Honestly, that's how he measured everything. And I'm allowed to order my first shazlik. I'm 10. Up it comes. Chicken tikka shazlik. There it is. All right, boy, you know what to do. You know exactly what to do. Squeeze your lemon on your chicken tikka. And I didn't like lemons, and I've been dreading this moment. But it was part of the religious ceremony. Squeeze your lemon. This is the argument, the most bizarre and ridiculous verbal violence of my whole childhood. Squeeze your lemon on your chicken tikka, boy. Please, Dad. You know I don't like lemon. Squeeze your lemon on your fucking tikka. Tikka. Everyone looking around. And then we settled in. I'm eating chicken tikka, I've got my poppadoms. I associate it with complete safety and happiness, right? I know it might seem pathetic to some of you, but I genuinely do. And then this fight kicks off. A fight in the Akash, right? These kids, right, I say, but 19-year-old, big, muscly fuckers, lighting serviettes and throwing them into the air and letting them burn out, right? Till they fall down. Now, it's up there, so it's what I fucking did when I was in my prime. Now, most of you are thinking it's not affecting your table. Let Abdul deal with it. Let the manager... Make sure that the manager is called Abdul of your Indian restaurant. Don't just... That can sound a bit racist if you just use that name for an Indian. Abdul, whatever. Let Abdul deal with it. He'll deal with it. It's his restaurant. It's the correct thing to do, right? But unfortunately, sitting next to these pissed-up Cronenberg 19-year-old hard bastard was posh guy with a roll neck and beard who, when he sees injustice, must address the situation, thereby causing more violence by being a dick, right? Is there anyone in this room who would have the courage to address a restaurant of strangers about their dining experience? I'm a stand-up. Not even I have the cringe factor necessary to do that. And he stood up and went, "Excuse me, fellow diners of the Akash." Not Akash, Akash. Show knowledge of Latin. Show it, right? Fellow diners of the Akash. And he pointed, so his finger was about as far from this 16-stone hard fucker. He went, "Does anyone else find this behaviour despic?" And he was punched on that exact syllable of despic. That exact, right in the side of the head, like that. Have you ever seen someone punched in the side of the head when they're not expecting it? It's majestic, because the head comes up. And they make the effort at consciousness, but they fail at the last minute. "I'm fine." "No, I'm gone. Sorry." But unfortunately for this kid, the posh guy had fat, posh sons with him. And they've stood up. Middle-class people, you can tell if you're middle-class because you approach from the side. "I'm sorry, you really are annoying me at the moment. And there'll be trouble, I'll use my specialist attack." Side attack. Side attack. Huh? Working class people, attack from the front. Like that. "Look at my organs. Want to try and stab my organs, mate?" Right? And it's kicked off. Proper violent fight, really quickly. Punches thrown, chemical weapon, black pepper, Expelliarmus, right? My brother, my little brother, James there, and the smaller guy in the what's it box, right? James has got out along with my mum and my great-nan, who was there for my 10th birthday. Remember, is anyone else like me where the great-nan became more like the nan due to the fact your nan was so young? Anyone? Great-nan is the grandma. She's the curly silver hair, the buggy-pushing, storing reedy. She dies when you're about 19, 20. Normal grand behaviour, unlike my real nan who's still at it down a nightclub getting done behind a skip. Right? She's still partying. She partied till the end, right? So Connie, great-gran, or grandma as they called her, one grandma, she got out just as before the door got blocked with the violence. James is out, thank God. James is like, yeah, from the violence. I'm crying, I'm terrified, and just me and Dad left in the corner of the bench. I will never forget the warmth of his bicep against my chest. It sounds a bit of a sentimental memory, but it's an amazing one for me. Just there it is across me, the first time ever, some sort of affection, some sort of primal connection between father and son. Just leave it, let Abdul call the old Bill, don't watch, boy. He used to be a doorman, so he knew he's judging the fight, right? Then, one of them, the smallest one, a little shit, looked about 17, 18, has smashed a glass. And he's walking in behind one of the posh kids, so he's going to glass him in the side and neck from here. And you know when a weapon comes out at a party or a fight, when a knife or a glass, the atmosphere sort of tightens, doesn't it? It sort of zooms in, everything's stilled. And then he's walking towards him like that, and that's when my old man's kicked in. The ex-bouncer, the bodybuilder, he's just risen, just swollen. Swollen out of the seat like a wheat crunchy left in a toilet. Right? What do you think? Truly hard men, by the way, those of you vicious shits, they don't take weapons, they don't need them, right? But this is the man's faith in Bangladeshi cuisine. He's picked up the only thing which could roughly be construed as a weapon, which is the still sizzling black Koran. Set in wood, obviously, to protect the hands. We know how hot those dishes are. Please don't touch, very hot, please. Right? We know how hot they are. Please don't touch my dish, I'm very hot right now. Don't touch my dish, I'm so hot, baby. Right. R&B, why not? And by the way, I checked on Wikipedia, that's the maximum time I can do that accent, relax. And he's gone in, waving it like that. Everyone stopped, so now it's just the little shit with the weapon, and my dad, 18 stone of pure man, right, with a triple ripple, walking in, waving it like that. Think how hot that metal is. Medieval, Tudor peasant branding, black metal. Right? He's gone in with, and the peppers and onions in there like a little infantry, just showing you, it's fucking hot in here, mate. I used to be a pepper. I used to be a fucking pepper. You want to look like this, do you? I don't think so, cunt. Right? He's walked in, like that, and this kid's just looking at him. It's about as big as my old man's areola, at best. And I'm crying, but I'm at that terror crying. When you're a kid, you know when you're crying but scared when you're a kid, so the tears are rolling but you're not making any noise. And he's got the smoke like that, and he went, now, put the glass back and calm it. Yeah? 3-syllable Essex, yeah. Yeah, all right? And from outside Essex, you want to do it at home, that's how you do it, right? Yeah, bring it up from the chest and out. Put the glass back and calm it. Yeah, right? Now, I'd never seen anyone answer my old man back. Not any of my friends, not my brother, not my mum. In a car accident, when 2 cars came out, my dad's fault, smashed in. They took one look at my dad and went, it's only my wing, I'll repair it in my garage. See you later. Right? He's that type of man, right? I just thought, well, this is a no-brainer. And I couldn't believe what came out of the little shit's mouth. He took one look at my dad, looked him up and down. Such is the power of Cronenberg. I don't know what they did in 1664, but they got violence from it. Huh? He took my dad up and down, he went, put the chicken tikka down, old man. Mouth open. Huh? You could see my old man, it hit him like that, the rudeness of it. He was affronted as much by the offence to his masculinity as the slight inaccuracy of the description. You could see it bothering him. You could see it playing on his fucking mind, right? This is a sizzler, it ain't no fucking tikka, right? You could see it bothering him. These are the words, more or less, that came out of the man's mouth. He even did a kung fu look before he responded, he did. This is my dirty Harry, it was just amazing. He just leant right in, so their lips were almost touching. He went, that ain't chicken tikka. That's a shazlik. Let's see if you're laughing when I smash it in your face, mate. He turned around to me, just sobbing, shivering in my seat, and went, now, squeeze your lemon. spotted that I kept correcting my tense when I talked about my dad? Anyone spot that? I kept going from was to is, does, right? He should be sat up there, of course he should, right? But he's not there. Why is he not there? Well, it doesn't take Columbo to try and work out what I'm telling you, yeah? The sad truth of this fucking story, right, is that he will never see this show. He'll never know a DVD was made. And that's it, I'm drifting into my dad's voice now. What a sick, fucked up way to close the show, right? That's it, boy, keep him laughing, because the next bit's not particularly funny. You can clear off your little piss-taking driveway. Turn off your plasma in the knock-it-through dining room. Put the He-Man in its original packaging. You sell that on eBay in 2008, get some money for it. When Mum's done grieving me, you move her to a new build in Cheshunt with a carpenter from Woodford called Danny. That's who that is, right? Happens to be a nice bloke, comes to see the show, Mum begins a new life. After the funeral, right, where bizarrely I'm cremated to the music of Barry White while your heart breaks in fucking two and you don't cry a tear because you're trying to be strong for James, right? You take the white Transit, you and Uncle Tony sell that in Auto Trader. You drive the black diesel automatic Mercedes back to the dealership. You trade it in. You can't even believe you're driving your dad's car. You dismantle the gym at the bottom of the garden that I worked out in right till the end. You give the tools away at a car boot sale. You give everything away. Everything gets filed. It disappears like a concentric fucking ripple in a brook. It all goes. You even, finally in 2010, grow the balls to give the stories about me away and then tell the truth at the end. Well done, you. All I ask is one last thing. Now and again, have a little knock on those castle bricks, yeah? And know that even if you think you're lying to yourself, there's something very good worth looking at in there for about an hour when you're making a DVD, all right? Now, good luck without me, and good night. Good night. Good night.